All right. Hello, hello. We are back. You're back to share a message. Yeah. Bella and I kind of met yesterday and pulled some cards and some stuff came through. We haven't actually dove into this message before. And if you've seen us before, we've done card pulls. This one feels a lot different to me. A lot different. I can feel the weight. I can feel the bandwidth increasing. I can feel what we're being called to is something different. And so I wanted to make sure that we brought this message to you, and I want you to listen carefully, and I want you to feel into, is this for me? Am I being initiated into something? Am I being called or drawn to this? Because this is a particular message for particular people. And yeah, okay. So not to be all ominous or whatnot, but this is a really powerful pull, and I'm ready. I'm ready for you. Bella's ready for you. I mean, let's just start. You can see I'm like kind of nervous because I have no idea what all this means. So anyways, the cards that we pulled, first I'm going to give you this one. So this is called the Threshold. And it's kind of not new to me or to Bella. We seem to attract and call a lot of people that are in transition, that are about to step forward or have already jumped. They're just in this place of not knowing what's on the other side, or knowing what's on the other side, but really scared to take that first step. So everybody that we work with is in a transition of some kind. And the other card that I pulled was the 38th Gene Key, which is struggle, perseverance, and honor. So normally, though, when we are at a threshold, a gate, a door, we're about to walk through, there is a little bit of like, do I go? Do I stay? There's always like a pull back or a pull forward. So you feel like you're being pulled back and forth. And it's all about taking initiative to either go back to where you've been and to what was safe and to what's comfortable, or to step forward into something that maybe you've never been before, an opportunity, an awakening, a rebirth, something new and something big is calling you. And you may not even know, you just feel it. And you don't know what to do. You don't know how to move forward. And the other cards that I pulled, and these are glyphs, so these are activations. So just look at this and kind of breathe it into your body before I tell you kind of what this is. So this one's called Dominion, and it says, we have created many universes, and as such, we have responsibility for our creations. Our thoughts create ripples that run throughout eternity. And then this one's called, or no, I'm not going to tell you yet. Just connect into this and breathe this activation in. This is called refinement. This activation has to do with separation of the things that are important from those that are not. The dross now falls away, leaving you with pure gold. So these are the two activations that kind of come together. And I feel so much of this has to do with these warriors of the light. Like, these are people that are ready for battle, that are stepping into battle, whatever that is, battle within themselves, battle outside of themselves. There's a struggle of some kind. Connecting into the purpose behind the struggle, connecting into that allows you to take these risks with clarity and say, yes, I can move forward into this. Not just running off into battle or war and not knowing even what you're fighting for. There's a call to action here that says, you're needed, and it's time to step forward, and it's time to activate that warrior within. And you're going to need to know, what are you creating? What's this reality you're creating? What do you hold? Like, what is yours? Like this dominion, this kingdom, what's yours? What are you fighting for? What's this? What is your Eden? What is your kingdom? And then the refinement is letting go of everything that's not. Letting go of the things that aren't aligned with your mission, your vision, what it is that you're fighting for, this purpose, this revolution, this thing inside of you. Bella, Bella, do you want to add something before we read anything? No, you're good. So, I feel that there's some people out there that are on the precipice of something really big and maybe really scary, because you're feeling that call to action. You're feeling that call to leadership. You're feeling that call to something bigger than you are. And it requires you to let certain things die. It requires you to die in a way. You're needing to step into your authority, your power. You're needing to step into your leadership. And it can be scary because you can't rely on anything outside of yourself. You're relying on your core stability. You're relying on you. And that is what's going to allow you to be successful in this mission. And so I'm speaking to whoever is resonating with this message, because this needs to be said, this needs to be spoken. And maybe you needed these activations. Maybe you needed to hear the message. Maybe you feel called or pulled to us. I don't know what it is, but if you do feel like there's a resonance here, like you are, this is for you, I would reach out, because we're kind of wanting to investigate. These are the people we're meant to help, to serve. And I want to investigate how we're here to serve you. So if you feel like you're on the precipice of something, you're in the transition, you feel something like this anticipation, you feel something very big, or you already know where you're wanting to go, but you need to kind of anchor in a little bit more so you feel stable and secure to take those steps forward, because it is unsolid ground because you've never been there before, or you're paving a way, you're trailblazing. Whatever the case may be, we're calling you to come to us to see how we can fit together, to see how we can help each other, how we can create space, how we can help you rebirth whatever this process or progress or thing is going to be for you. So now I'm going to read to you what this card means. So the threshold. And this is the door, the gate, the initiation. So we cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. However, you have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step towards the future that calls you. So not only is this, it's an initiation to see how we can fit and serve you and help you, but it's also for anyone. Take that one next step. It's time to move forward. We can't stand in fear. We can't stand in doubt. We have to say, okay, if I'm not ready to move forward, it's time to inquire, what's holding me back? Where am I going? If you're not clear on where you're going, ask the questions. The universe wants to communicate it with you. You can always get the answers that you receive, but there's something safe about staying in fear and staying in doubt. That means, oh, I don't need to move forward. Because if you don't know, then you're not in the wrong. And there's not any wrong either, is there? There's not a wrong or a right step. And it's okay to move back and be like, I'm not ready for this initiation. I'm not ready for this next step. And that's okay. There's no shame, nothing in that. But if you are feeling that initiation, if you're feeling that spark, if you're feeling that thunder inside of you that says, oh my gosh, I either act or I move back. You're like at this point of like an energy field that it's like, I have to walk through this portal. And you can feel it because you're vibrating at that portal and you're like, do I jump in here or do I not? And you may never know what's on the other side, because part of it is having the courage to jump there. So I feel that a lot of you are being called to something, called to action, called to embodiment, called to something that you have never been to before. And it requires the death and you leaving behind some things that you can't take with you. So I'm just curious to see, you're here, you're hearing this message. Do you also want support? Do you also feel called to have a container, to have help, to have people by your side, to not do this alone? Because why do we have to do it alone? Some things require us to take action by ourselves, but to have support is okay, and it is powerful. And to have people with you that can create that container for transformation to occur, for you to step into that person that you're becoming, to have you birth that person. What needs to die will die. I mean, we pulled the 28, and it's not its programming partner. No, is the 20 or the 30? Which one is the pro? Anyways, I'm like confused. The risk.
Did we take the 38? Didn't we pull the 38?
This is the 38.
Okay.
So I was thinking the 28. So like the risk taker, it's on the other side of the gate of the channel. And so it's like you have to take that risk, but it's also got to connect into that purpose. And some of you has to die. You have to be willing to die in that battle. Because if you're fighting for something you believe in, then it's okay to die. There's honor in that. But it's not that you're going to die, but there is parts of you that are going to die because they're not essential, right? We're going into this refinement. And it's time to cut away what doesn't serve you. You're coming into your king or your queen or your king. Everybody's becoming this king of their kingdom. We're in the transit of the 45. This is all about I have. You have dominion over something. You're in control of your life. You're in control of your reality. You are the one that is creating this for you. So why not take a step into being conscious creators and conscious leaders?
Yeah, and I feel astrologically, you just disappeared for a moment. I feel astrologically that last week we had a full moon and it felt a lot like a lot of emotions. I had people reach out to me. We had the George Floyd in the beginning of the week, like the world was in turmoil. And it was a lot about the emotional and kind of that chaotic feminine. And there's something with this week with the 45 where we're asked to, the masculine kind of comes in and says, okay, now it's action. We had that thing, we maybe had a meltdown, something happened. And now I feel this week that there is more a call for leading with the heart, for our own sake. And when we lead from the heart, for our own sake, it is this, the 45 is about gathering, the 45 is about canvassing. So there's something collective, something almost tribal, like doing it with a community. And a community can be big or small. And also I'm feeling a lot into my unity, my culture that has a third line, which is the unit. So to do it with a small group, sometimes it's really powerful to do it 3 to 15 people. There is something when we do it with more than 2, where we have a conscious observer, the third person. So there is something with that Ashley and I are discovering too when she and I are working with one person, there's more of a change agent in it than working just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even when you're looking at like the Penta, you're looking at group dynamics, there's a lot of stability that happens in 2. But there's something that happens when you have 3, when you have 4, when you have 5, the dynamic changes. And it's almost like that when that container is created, there's a lot that can come in. And it may feel unstable, it may feel unsafe, but that's what has to happen sometimes in containers to make explosions, to make transformations, to alchemize things. There's a lot of stability that can happen in one, but if you're on the precipice of something big, you're kind of wanting to alchemize this explosion to kind of catapult you, right? I mean, it's like you're in a rocket ship and you need that rocket fuel. And or plutonium, or anything that you need for like these big bombs. They're not stable, but that's what creates the explosion. And that's what's going to blow away everything that doesn't serve you or that you don't need. So I feel, and I'm not saying that our container is an unstable place. I'm just saying that a lot of transformation and catalyzation can happen, and it can be very intense. But if you're wanting that and you feel like you kind of tiptoed around stuff enough and you're like, I can't know, and you're not, it's not enough, you kind of need that. You kind of need that space. And so whether it's with us or whether it's with something else, this is a call to say, like, you're at the precipice, take action. And if you're not taking action, ask yourself why. And what do you need? And ask the universe, what do I need? What do I need? How can I move forward? Because I'm not getting anywhere. I'm kind of like in inertia. There's nothing happening here.
And there's something important too. I was speaking with Holly McCann right before, and she's one of the 3 founders of Great Leadership. And the way that we're moving forward in the world, like what I was saying, how I felt last week, it was that feminine, the emotional, the full moon that we were in. And the way that we're taking action, it's not that now we're suddenly the masculine. It's basically the feminine is still there and the masculine comes. Like she's the lover, he's the king in the way. And he says like, now it's time to move forward. So it's an integrated moving forward. It's not like, okay, now we just take the sword and we swap everything off. It's really like we are allowing the feelings, we're allowing everything we are, and we move together. We move forward with that integration. And that's so much what I feel the integration of what we are doing in our work too, Ashley, with the integration of the shadow, with like you have the 15, so there can be extremes. I have other things in my chart too. So we know that extremes are sometimes what we need. The pendulum needs to swing, but at the end of the day, the integration of it and to be able to walk forward more fully as who we are with all the parts of us, and not pushing down the emotions, or like that's the way that we want to be able to act in the world. That's the kind of leadership, the heart leadership that we are stepping into. That's what the 45 this week is highlighting for us.
Yeah. And if the 45, the higher expression is communion, the integration, like Bella was saying, of all that stuff. What I'm also feeling too is, I mean, you brought up the 15, and right now the nodes are still in the 15 and the 10, but they're in the first line. And so you're needing to investigate your rhythms. Are you in your rhythm, or are you kind of like letting something else flow you? Are you letting something else dictate what your rhythm is? Can you step into that, your own rhythm? Because we're in the first line too, so there needs to be some investigation into like, how can I empower myself? How can I get myself into my own rhythm? And how can I be myself? You're free to be yourself. And like, even this threshold that you're in is kind of like, you got to get naked. You got to strip down and say, oh yeah, this person gave me this jacket. This person gave me this hat. It's like, no, you can't. When you step through that threshold, you can't bring anything with you. You have to go in there naked. You know, it's what has to be, because we're kind of going down to our true essence, and we're free. And yeah.
I love what you're saying, Ashley, about the rhythms, because I feel like this whole COVID situation, if it did something, it was that it messed with or changed our rhythms. So we could feel another rhythm that was kind of imposed from the outside. And now what I've been feeling is both gratitude and actually an inquiry. What is my rhythm right now? And like I've said probably many times, like suddenly I don't want to orient I don't want to orient on the outer. That's my life's work, orientation. I'm more orienting on the inner, and I feel really stable where I am. So what is it that you can choose new with your rhythms right now? What is the right rhythm for you now that you can choose? And also the gratitude for having the possibility as living like free human beings, at least to some extent. If you're watching this, I would say, like, how are you choosing? Because you have an ability, like a gift that so many people don't. So many people can't choose, and we can choose to some extent. We can change jobs, we can change partners. Like nobody's imposing really a regimented rhythm over your life. To take that opportunity, we're moving out of the 15 and the 10. So the self-love, or the acting in a way so that you can feel natural, and that magnetism and rhythm of the 15. Soon we are not there anymore. So this is basically the last few weeks, I would say, that we are in the first line of the 10 and the 15.
Yeah. So it's perfect timing to kind of jump into the stream you're wanting to swim in. You know, you have all these choices. It's like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to flow? And the best place to go is in alignment with your soul, right? In alignment with your direction. I mean, the G Center gives us a lot of that direction, gives a lot of that, you know. There's so many gates, and that's where we always move back to, and that's where we're kind of coming back into. And a lot of emotional stuff has been triggered, like Bella said earlier. How can we get back into the heart? How can we get back into the G and find our direction, find our flow, find that feminine inside us that's like the way shower. All the different gates provide a different piece of the puzzle to help you. And you don't have to have them defined to kind of access them. It's like you're just calling them in to say, like, I want to be on my path. And it's great that things are falling away. I think I just had a conversation where, there's so many businesses that are going out of business, but it's making room for a lot of new stuff. And we're needing to adapt and evolve. And that's beautiful. It's sad, but it's beautiful. So
But it's also an opportunity for new co-creation. That's what I'm feeling. And, you and I, Ashley, this week, we've been speaking about many different people. We are going to speak to more people. What is possible in co-creation? And is there a new way of co-creating where we are not only in synergy, but in synarchy? There's not a hierarchy. There's not a heterarchy. We don't have a preference for flat or hierarchic, but we can see how can everybody be in their genius and collaborate? How can we create that matrix where we're all connected and interdependent, but it's not like somebody's is forcing somebody else to do something.
Yeah. Synergy. I mean, that's what we're needing to access. The conscious business is going to be so different. And the ring of prosperity has the 45, which we call goodwill, and then the 16, which is the enthusiast. So they're needing to come together, the goodwill and enthusiast, to kind of make these conscious businesses, and to also partner with the 53, which we haven't even got into yet, which is all about expansion. But expansion can't happen if you're not doing the inner work too. You're needing to work on yourself, to go through that awakening. It's not just about dominating, controlling, and being indifferent about the people that you're smushing with your business or smushing with whatever it is. It's like, can you be conscious about, like, what does the world need? How am I contributing? How is everything an extension of me? How are we all connected? I feel like it's calling us to look at a lot of different things, and we don't need to go back. You can't go back. On this, it was saying, crossing a threshold may not always be voluntary. Sometimes you are thrown across the boundary through circumstances far beyond our control. Either way, we can't go back. COVID happened, we can't go back. George Floyd happened, we can't go back. There's all these things that are happening, and it's just the fire is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, because that's what is needed to get people to ask for the change that they're wanting. People have lived a comfortable, easy life so far, and now it's time to say, okay, I just did what I was supposed to do. I did my shoulds. I kind of just went with the flow. But no, if we're creating a world together, how do you want that world to be? Let's start looking at things. Let's start getting enthusiastic and excited and fired up about stuff. How are you going to be conscious creators to start coming in and bringing your flavor to the world? And I don't know, taking down the boundaries and the barriers and just rebuilding. This is like a beautiful opportunity for us to rebuild together. But it's going to also take people to be doing the work inside, because you can't just, I'm called to action. I'm going to go straight into the role of my soul, and I'm not going to know why I'm here or why I'm grounded into this body. I'm not even going to be in this body. I'm going to just go and do something that's really self-serving. And we don't even realize that it's self-serving until, we hit a wall. And then we're like, why can't I do this? Why is nothing opening up to me? Well, because more stuff needs to happen. You need to be grounded into yourself. And that's kind of like what we talked about in the inner circle with the purpose sphere and grounding into your core stability and all that. So yes.
I just feel something powerful too with looking at the possibilities of what's there and who is there and who we can co-create with, instead of looking at everything we can't do and we need to wear masks. Like there's been a lot of what I feel like a lot of just energy of like being, what is it called? Like we are not, sometimes I look at the world and I feel everybody's not happy, and I'm like, what are you not happy about? It's like, and that's what I feel. There's, instead of looking at what we can't do and what has been, like, what can we still do and what can we still do together? That's so powerful. And instead of bitching about, maybe that's the word I want to find, like bitching about everything that is like not perfect. Like I have clean water to drink every day. Like there's something just like kind of reality check. Like, are you being a spoiled child or are you being a conscious co-creator? That's kind of something where I'm starting to become a little bit more radical in that, because I don't think we have the time to complain. That's the word. Like all the complain. I'm so tired of the complaining. Do something, step up, co-create, reach out. It doesn't matter, but just like tune into your heart and see what's there. Is there complaint in your heart, or is there a fire that is here to co-create with other people and to step into your own leadership?
Yeah. Woo. I mean, there's so much potential here. We're in pure potentiality, and that's what's across the threshold. And I was looking at this card because I was holding it above her eyes, and I'm like, yeah. Sometimes we just have to walk forward and be like, I don't even know where I'm going, but I know that like it's in the dark, but you bring your light there and then it's going to be illuminated. And then, oh, okay, now I know where I'm at. But you kind of need to move forward and get into your heart, because that that too is going to orient you. You can be oriented wherever you go. And even if you don't have it, I mean, that's why I'm saying, if you feel called, reach out to us. Bella has the two. She's all about orienting and about the bigger vision. And I mean, there's so many things that can happen in the container together. We can do it with you, or you can take initiative and find. I'm just saying, this is a call to initiative. Whatever that may be, it's an initiation. So sit with it, activate it, clear whatever needs to be cleared, and like take some action. Yeah. So if you want to reach out and we can investigate what it is we're needing to co-create or do together, or what you're wanting support with, me and Bella are open. You can message either one of us. I would say message both of us, create a group chat, or if you're on YouTube, you can email us at hello@unlockyourdesign.com. And we look forward to seeing kind of what is showing up in the fractal line, like what just activated, what's the common thread, why are we here? I mean, we pulled these and I was like, we need to go live and talk about this. I don't know what it's for. And if it ends with this live, then that's beautiful and fine. I feel like this message just needed to be shared.
And Ashley, there is something, I just have a conversation about leadership with somebody. We didn't plan it. I'm going to be on with Simone and John later tonight. There's just something right now where it's like, follow your intuition. Don't plan too much. Do do it in the moment. Like, I know like there might be human design people saying, no, I have to sleep on it. Well, maybe the world is changing. Maybe the world is upside down. Maybe you don't need to sleep on it. I don't know. But like, trust your instinct. Trust your knowing, and don't trust the theory too much. Trust your body, and that's beautiful. Like that's where I feel we're going. Trust your own authority, what you feel is right for you, and you can tap into that. Sometimes you don't have to sleep on it. Sometimes you just know.
Thanks, Bella, for saying that. It's beautiful. So let us know how you feel about this. Let us know if you want to investigate with us. We're curious to see where we can go together, because this is about doing things together now. We don't need.
And we're doing a million things, so reach out and see where
if you're at the precipice of something, we can be like, well, like here's all these doors. So if you want to go through any of those, you can. Or if you want us to create something for you, we can. We've actually just started creating containers and intensives for people. And it's not like, yeah, let me plug you into this box. It's like, no, we're going to create something for you. So if you're wanting that, reach out, because that's something that's exciting and new, and we're enthusiastic, so it's perfect. But thank you so much for watching this and for tuning in with us. And we look forward to having personal conversations with you guys on the side. So thank you so much. Bye.